Good morning, students. Today we are going to see the supplementary. The name of the supplementary is Alice in Wonderland. First, let me read and explain you. Okay, follow me while I am reading. Alice was beginning to get very tired of sitting by her sister on the bank and of having nothing to do. Once or twice she had peeped into the book her sister was reading. So, what is Alice doing is Alice and her sister came to a park and they were roaming there here and there. After that, Alice's sister sat under the tree and she started reading a storybook. Alice was peeping her book, peeping in the sense, peeping அப்படின்னா எட்டி பார்க்குறது, okay? So Alice peeping her sister's storybook and she noticed that there was no conversations and there was no any of the pictures in that storybook. So she thought that what is the necessity of reading the book like this? ஸோ அவளுக்கு வந்து இந்த மாதிரி புக்ஸ் ரீட் பண்ணுறதுனால என்ன ஒரு இன்ட்ரெஸ்டிங்கான ஸ்டோரிஸ் கிடைக்குது அப்படின்னு தெரியல. ஸோ ஷீ இமேஜின் தட் லைக் இன் தட் வே. ஸோ ஷீ திங்கிங் தட் லைக் அண்ட் ஷீ sat near to her sister. Okay, so she was considering in her own mind as well as she could, for the hot day made her feel very sleepy and stupid, whether the pleasure of making a daisy chain would be worth the trouble of getting up and picking the daisies, when suddenly a white rabbit with pink eyes ran close by her. So Alice started sleeping slightly. So as I already told, this story is an imaginary story. So it was a wonderful and imaginary story. So here we started seeing a dream in Alice imaginary world. Okay, so first they were sitting under a tree and they were roaming here and there, and Alice's sister starting reading the the story. Alice started scribbling like this and going their way and come again to her sisters, and though two were playing and reading all the stories. By later, Alice feels very tired and she started sleeping near to her sister, and in her dream she started thinking that a beautiful dream. In her dream she seeing an white rabbit with a red color eyes. Okay, let me read the next para. The rabbit pulled a watch out of his pocket to check the time. He shook his head, then disappeared down a rabbit's hole. So Alice, noticing that the rabbit was coming with a beautiful coat, and the rabbit looks like a white colored skin and red colored eyes. And by the way, the rabbit taking a watch inside her its coat, and Alice was thinking that what is the rabbit doing, and a rabbit also doing that. The rabbit took a watch and watching what is the time, and it was both the rabbit and Alice started running. First rabbit was running and Alice started to follow it. I must find out why he is in such a hurry. So Alice, questioning herself, she must watch what is the necessity of the rabbit, why it was so hurrying. So cried Alice. Filled with curiosity, she ran to the rabbit's hole and peeped through the entrance. So So the Alice started following the rabbit, and it was with a curiosity. So ஒரு ஆர்வத்தோட she ran behind the rabbit. Okay, so at last they reached the rabbit's hole, and a rabbit also went inside the hole. Alice slowly getting near to the hole and peeped. What I say, what is peeped? Peeped na எட்டி பார்க்கிறது. So அந்த ஹோலை again வந்து Alice எட்டி பார்க்குறா. The hole dropped suddenly and Alice fell. So while peeping the hole, Alice felt suddenly inside the hole, and she felt inside the hole, a rabbit's hole. She fell for a long time when suddenly she came upon a little three-legged table, and all made of solid glass. There was nothing on it except a tiny golden key. So at last she felt inside the hole, a rabbit's hole. She suddenly felt in a three-legged table. So she felt in a three-legged table, and it was a thick solid glass. So it was a thick glass. So suddenly after she felt in the glass, that she is seeing a tiny golden key. Tiny in the sense, tiny na enna romba chinnada, tiny golden. She noticing a tiny golden key. Okay, next one. When she looked around again, she came upon a low curtain she had not noticed before, and behind it was a little door about 15 inches high. So after seeing the golden key, she looking around the hole, around the rabbit's house, that she is seeing a little curtain. Curtain-na தெரியும்ல, நம்ம வீட்டில் ஸ்க்ரீன் போடுவோம்ல விண்டோஸ்க்கு. So she is seeing a little curtains, and she never seen a little curtain before she felt inside. Okay, it was, and the room was only 15 inches. Okay, and she was seeing a little door inside the room, and it was only 15 inches. A single inches, 1 inch is equal to நம்ம கையில் ஒரு டிப் வருதா, ஒரு லைன் வருதா ஒரு ஃபிங்கரில். ஸோ அந்த தான் 1 inch. ஸோ until 15 inch the door is only 15 inches. Okay, she tried the little golden key in the lock, and to her great delight it fitted. She opened the door and saw a beautiful garden through it, but she could not reach it as she was too big. So she already had a golden key, right? So using the golden key, she opened the 15 inches door. There outside of the door, she is seeing a beautiful garden, and it was so pretty. But and also Alice tried to enter into the garden, but she can't go to the garden because she was too high, right? A rabbit only will be in a tiny rabbit. It was a tiny rabbit, but Alice was a girl, a larger girl, so she couldn't enter into the garden. So next one. When she turned around towards the three-legged table, Alice found a green bottle that said, "Drink me." So magically appeared on it. So what is she seeing around again? She also first she saw a golden key on the table, and now she is looking that there was a green bottle, and in that green bottle a letter magically come again and again, that it was saying that drink me. So அந்த green bottle வந்து drink meன்ற text வந்துட்டே இருக்கு. So out of curiosity, Alice took the bottle and drank the entire portions. So with curiosity, ஒரு ஆர்வத்தோட Alice took the bottle and drank the full what was inside the bottle. She drank the full portions. Okay, அது அந்த பாட்டிலுக்குள்ளே இருக்கிற ஃபுல் போர்ஷன்ஸ் என்ன இருக்கும் அந்த கண்டென்ட் ஆஃப் ஜூஸஸ் ஷீ drank fully. Okay, then she began to shrink until she was no bigger than a doll. So after drinking the juice, she was shrinking very too little. ஸோ ஷ்ரிங்கிங்னா ரொம்ப சுருங்க ஆரம்பிக்கிறா, ரொம்ப குட்டியாகும்னு சொல்லுவாங்க. ஸோ ரொம்ப குட்டி ஆயிட்டா. She opened the door and quickly ran through it. What a splendid garden, she exclaimed. So she, with curiosity and also with a happiness, grateful delight, she ran through the door and she saw the garden. Why, I am not bigger than the insect that crawl off these flowers. But the excitement soon wore off. So at first she ran out of the door and looking the beauty of the garden, and also she looking all the creatures of the garden. So and she was happily enjoying the garden. By later she thinking that why the insects are larger than her, and why the insects and the sperms are, see, why the insects and the sperms are larger than me. So she thinking herself, and also by later she lost her excitement, and she thinking very badly why it was happening. Okay, the next line. Alice grew bored with her tiny size. I want to be big again, she shouted. Her shout startled the white rabbit, who ran past her again. Mistaking her for his maid, he ordered, "Go to my cottage and fetch my gloves and fans." After that, Alice thought, why was I so little than other insects and birds, and also the plants and also the sperms. I was too little. Later she get so tired and so weary, and she started shouting that I want to become too big again. And the rabbit noticed that there was some sound from a girl, and she noticed that she was shouting, and the rabbit came again to her and saying that go to my cottage and fetch my gloves and fans. So the rabbit, thinking that Alice was his maidனா வேலைக்காரவங்க சொல்லுவாங்கல்ல. ஸோ ஆலிஸை வந்து rabbit thinking that Alice was his maid and ordering her that go and take my gloves and fans. ஸோ என்னோட காட்டேஜுக்கு போயிட்டு என்னோட க்ளவுஸஸையும் ஃபேன்ஸையும் எடுத்துகிட்டு வா அப்படின்னு ஆர்டர் பண்ணுது ஆலிஸ்க்கு. ஸோ நெக்ஸ்ட், Alice was confused by the rabbit's behavior. Maybe I'll find something at the cottage to help me find my way out, she said hopefully. So at first Alice was confused why was the rabbit is ordering me, and later she hopefully think that herself if she helped to the rabbit, the rabbit may help to grow her again big. So she hopefully ran to the cottage to taking the gloves and the fan. As she was going out, she saw a piece of chocolate cake that was kept on a table by the doorway. Next to the cake was a note that read, "Eat me." At first she saw a golden key, then she saw a green bottle, and now she sawing a chocolate cake on the table. And also near to the chocolate cake there was a key note கீநோட்னா ஒரு சின்ன பேப்பரில் it was written that eat me, ஸோ என்னை சாப்பிடு அப்படின்னு. Again there was a text near to the chocolate cake. So also the Alice was too hungry, so she started eating the chocolate cake. I'm so hungry, Alice said as she ate the cake. So she ate the cake. Suddenly she felt strange and realized, oh no, I have grown larger than this house, she cried. After eating the chocolate cake, she started noticing that she is growing larger than the rabbit's hole. So she started crying again. Get out of my way, you are blocking the door, shouted the white rabbit. So on the time, the white rabbit is getting back to its cottage and saying that, move from my door, you are blocking the way. So the rabbit saying, you are blocking the way, so move from the door. Alice managed to pick up his fan. Immediately she began to shrink, but little did she know it was a magical fan which made her small again. So she was big right now, so that she easily took the fan what a rabbit was ordered to pick her, and she picked the fan. Suddenly she became again to the size of shrink. So again வந்து அவள் ஷ்ரிங்காக மாற ஆரம்பிச்சிட்டா. ஷ்ரிங்க்னா ரொம்ப குட்டியாக ஆரம்பிச்சிட்டா. And then she noticed that, and then she came to know that the fan was a magical fan. So அந்த fan தான் வந்து made her to become too small again. So oh no, I will never get back to the right size. She went looking for help. So she herself thinking that she will never become right size. Right size in the sense normal, ordinary size. Before she was a girl, she was in the ordinary size. So now she is thinking that she will never become to the ordinary size hereafter, or like that she is thinking that. Soon she was a green caterpillar dressed in a pink jacket. He was sitting on the top of a large mushroom, smoking a bubble pipe. So what is that? There she is seeing a big mushroom, and on the top of the mushroom there was a green caterpillar. Caterpillarனா புழுக்கள்னு சொல்லுவாங்கள்ல, புழுக்கள், வெட்டுக்கிளி அந்த மாதிரி சொல்லுவாங்கள்ல. ஸோ she is seeing a green caterpillar, ஒரு பெரிய பச்சை கலர் green கலர் புழு இருக்குது. ஸோ she is seeing a green caterpillar and it was wearing a pink color jacket. pink color coat போட்டிருக்கு. ஓகேவா? ஸோ and also it's smoking a bubble pipe. So we used to see a bubble smoking pipe in movies, right? In old movies they were smoking with a pipe, and a pipe with a large bottle, it will gives a smoke. So the caterpillar also smoking with the pipe, bubble pipe. One side makes you big, the other side makes you small. The caterpillar saying to the Alice that one side makes you a big and one side makes you a small, he said to the Alice before slithering away. Slithering in the sense, slithering அப்படின்னா the caterpillar used to move from place to place with the movement of slithering. ஊர்ந்துட்டே போகிறது சொல்லுவோம்ல. ஸோ கேட்டர்பில்லர் வந்து பிளேஸ் டு பிளேஸ் ட்ராவல் ஆகுறப்போ ஸ்லித்தர் பண்ணிகிட்டே தானே மூவ் ஆகும், ஊர்ந்துட்டே தானே போகும். ஸோ தட் த மீனிங் ஆஃப் த வேர்ட் slithering. One side of what? Alice called after him. The mushroom silly, he answered. ஸோ ஆலிஸ் வந்து question பண்றா. What she was asking is, one side, what are you saying? Please come again. So எனக்கு புரியல என்ன சொல்ல வர அப்படின்னு Alice was questioning to the caterpillar. So the caterpillar also replying that, silly, the mushroom, silly. I'm saying about the mushroom, not about you. The caterpillar also answered to the Alice. Alice ate a piece of the mushroom. Thank goodness, I'm growing, she cried. But which way do I grow? So after that, Alice took a piece of a mushroom and she ate the piece. After eating the mushroom, she thanked the gods and by saying that, thank goodness I am growing. So now she started growing. She cried. So she was crying with a happiness, with a delight. She crying and saying, but which way do I go? So after this, where was I need to go? Where will I need to go? So she thinking and started crying. That path leads the Mad Hatter. The other way leads to Laymarch Hat, said a voice. So Mad Hatter is a name of so the Mad Hatter is a person like what is the person, what can I say, you like a joker in a circus with a colorful hat na cap. So colorful hat வச்சிருப்பாங்கல, so caps எல்லாம் போட்டிருப்பாங்க. So he seems to be the Mad Hatter. And the other way leads to Laymarch Hat. Laymarch is a rat. Okay, it was a bushful rat. So நிறைய hairs இருக்கும். So it is a rat, said a voice. So she hear a voice by saying a Mad Hatter and Laymarch Hat. Alice turned to find a smiling Cheshire cat in a tree, and the voice of the cat, voice that leads her to the Mad Hatter and Laymarch is a Cheshire cat, and it was sitting in the top of a tree, and it was smiling with a cheerful way. Okay, cheerful manner. I'll see you later at the Queen's croquet game, he said before disappearing. And the cat saying that, let you go to the Mad Hatter and Laymarch Hat, and I'll see you later, because the cat is going to a Queen's croquet game. So a game called croquet, and I'll show what is the game. And it was the game that called to the name of croquet. So we used to see a game like golf, and it is also a game called croquet. Okay, so after saying that, the cat ran out from the place. Okay, there was a table set out under a tree in front of the house, and the March Hare and the Hatter were having tea at it. A dormouse was sitting between them, fast asleep, and the other two were using it as a cushion, resting their elbows on it and taking over its head, very uncomfortable for the dormouse. Though Alice, first let me tell the first stanza's definitions. So there was a table under a tree. So before that, Alice going to see the Mad Hatter and Laymarch, and she is seeing a table under a tree, and that she is seeing that a Mad Hatter. Who is Mad Hatter? The Joker. Okay, let you know as a Joker. So there in the table, the Joker and a crow was sitting, and between them, the rat is sitting, and they both were using the rat as a cushion. So we used to have a cushion in our sofa, right? That will be gives a smoothness to sleep us, and also have a good tired feelness. So they using the rat as a cushion on the table. So later, by the way, Alice going to sit near to them, and they were seeing that Alice and asking her, why were you coming here? Here we have no rooms, we have no time, no places to give you, and we have no places even for a sleep. So get away. Who and all saying that? The Mad Hatter and the rat and the black crow. Okay. So here, very uncomfortable for the dormouse, thou thought Alice. Once asleep, I suppose it doesn't mind. The table was a large one, but the three were all crowded together at one corner of it. So Alice replying that, you fools, you are sitting in the one corner of the table, and it was a big table, so you can also sit movely with a space, and that may gives you a good space to rest you. So I don't care, I will take the rest in the space of the tables. Okay. But the Mad Hatters, the rat and the crow are saying, no rooms, no rooms, please get away, we have no spaces. So also again the Alice is defining them. There was a big space in the table, but you three were cornering it. So use the balance place. So that after saying them, Alice started to sit on the other space of the table. Okay. There's plenty of room, said Alice indignantly, and she sat down in a large armchair at one end of the table. Have some wine, the March Hare said in an encouraging tone. Alice looked all round the table, but there was nothing on it but tea. So the Alice started to sit in a armed chair. So we have a chair with keeping the arms. So she sat on the armed chair and resting on the table. So, and after that, March is saying that take some wine, and it is on the table. So after saying that, Alice looking around the table, there she saw a cup of tea. So she is asking that, where is the wine? I am seeing that only the tea is on the table. There was no wine on the table. So she is raising the questions. Then tea? I don't see any wine, she remarked. There isn't any, said the March Hare. Then it wasn't very civil of you to offer it, said Alice angrily. So the March also replying that, yes, there was no wine. I just used to simple chat on you, and there was no wine on the table. I already know that. அப்படின்னு மார்ச் ஹேர் வந்து ஆன்சர் பண்ணுது. ஸோ த ஆலிஸ் இஸ் ரிப்ளைங் தட், தென் ஒய் யூ ஸ்டூபிட், you told that you have a wine on the table, she said in an angry way. Okay, it wasn't very civil of you to sit down without being invited, said the March Hare. So March is replying that, yes, you have no sense, because we didn't even call you to sit here, but you came and sitting here. Is that a good manner? Then why are you teaching about me for a good manners? The March is asking to the Alice. I don't know, it was your table, said Alice. So the Alice is replying that I don't even know, it was your table. It's laid for a great many more than three. You may stay if you answer my riddles. Okay. So the Mad Hatter is saying that okay, let you stay here. Before that, you need to answer my riddles. What is riddles? Riddles is knowing for the game puzzles. Yes. So we used to play a puzzle game, right? That is riddle. So the Mad Hatter is asking her a riddle. Why is a raven like a writing desk? Raven is a black crow. Okay. Alice felt dreadful puzzled. The hatter's riddle seemed to have no sort of meaning in it, and yet it was certainly English. So Alice is feeling that it was an English puzzle, but she didn't mean what was the meaning of a raven like a writing desk. Is that a puzzle? She is thinking that is that a puzzle? It was not a puzzle, but it was an English language. Okay, what does it means? She is thinking like that. So she is asking that I don't quite understand you. She said. So she is saying that I didn't understand you. What you are saying as politely as she could. So she is saying in a polite manner. So ரொம்ப soft சொல்றா, ரொம்ப polite சொல்றா. Have you guessed the riddle yet? The Hatter said. No, I give up, Alice replied. So the Mad Hatter is asking her, is that you get the answer? But Alice replying that no, I don't even know the answer. Let me give up அப்படின்னு சொல்றா. So எனக்கு ஆன்சர் தெரியல. So I'll give up. எனக்கு வந்து தெரியல, நான் வந்து கிவ் அப் பண்ணிக்கிறேன் அப்படின்னு சொல்கிறான். வாட்ஸ் த ஆன்சர்? ஐ ஹாவன்ட் த ஸ்லைட்டஸ்ட் ஐடியா, said the Hatter. Nor I, said the March Hare. Alice shouted wearily. I think you might do something better with the time, she said, then waste it in asking riddles that have no answers, and she continued her walk. So again the Mad Hatter started playing with her that both March Hare and the Mad Hatter don't know the answer for the riddles. So they replied her, no, even we didn't know the answer for the riddles. So Alice started getting wearily and saying that stop doing the silly things. Let you use this time for a good manners, not in the asking a silly riddles. So suddenly she found herself, after saying that she moved from the place and started walking again. Suddenly she found herself in the middle of a field where the Queen of Hearts was playing croquet. So after that she moving the place, right? So by walking there she saw a Queen of Hearts with playing croquet. I already show you the game croquet, no? So a Queen of Hearts is playing the game croquet. His gods and goddesses were shaped like cards. So she is looking that there were full of gardeners and gods, and they were wearing like a shape of cards, a red color cards. We used to play cards, right? In cards we used to see many symbols, ash symbols, heart symbols, diamond symbols. So in the red color, okay, she loves red color. So also their gardeners and gods wearing the costumes like a shape of a card. One gardener had planted white roses by mistake and then painted them red. Off with their heads, sprinkled the Queen. I hate with the white rose. So once one of the gardener had planted a white roses in the queen's garden by mistakenly. He started after he planted white roses. After thinking that so mistakenly he did the planting of white roses. Later he realized and he did a mistake of coloring the white roses into red color. The queen noticed him and saying that stop painting the rose and please cut off the heads of all roses because she used to hate the white roses. Okay, so she ordered the gardener to cut off all the white roses plants. So after that, then she noticed Alice and asked her, have you ever played croquet? Yes, Alice timely answered. So on the way, the queen seeing the Alice and she called her and asking that, do you know to play the croquet? Alice also answering that, yes, I shortly know about playing the croquet, but I have never used a flamingo or a hedgehog. Play with me, ordered the queen. So the queen is ordering her to play the game of croquet, and she also saying that while you are playing the croquet game, the flamingo and hedgehog. Flamingo is a bird you used to see in Australia, most famous bird, and it used to stand with a one leg in the seas. So you may remember, right? So that is flamingo, and hedgehog is முள்ளம்பன்றி சொல்லுவாங்கல்ல அதுதான் hedgehog. So that is hedgehog. Okay, so while you are playing the croquet, both the flamingo and hedgehog used to disturb you. If you lost the game, I will take off your head. The queen replied to the Alice. Alice tried her best to play well, but she had trouble with her flamingo. Off with her head, cried the queen. Just then a trumpet sounded in the distance, calling out to Shazam. So Alice tried to lead the game in a good manner, but the disturbance of flamingo started to disturb her play off, and the Alice stopped playing in the good manners. So she also she gave up from the game. As the queen ordered earlier, queen said the other gardens to take off the Alice head, but the Alice shouted that I won't accept all these stupid ideas. I need to go to the court, she shouted, and on the middle of the conversation there was a sound of a trumpet in a long distance. So it was a court sections. So what is trumpet? Trumpet is a musical instrument. It seems like a big old one, and it has more pumpings. You may see what is trumpets. Okay, so next to the court section, everyone rushed into the courtroom. Court is now in sections, announced the white rabbit. Will Alice please come to the stand? Alice took the stand and looked at the jury box where the March Hare and the Mad Hatter were making noise. So after that, the white rabbit was the judge of the court, and it called the Alice to stand on that pole you used to see in the courts, right? In many movies or in a courtroom movies, you used to see a stand pole. ஸோ அந்த ஜட்ஜஸ்க்கு முன்னாடி 2 ஆன்சர் பண்ணுற பர்சன்ஸ் வந்து ஒரு ஒரு ஸ்டாண்ட் மாதிரி இதுக்குள்ளே நிற்பாங்களே. ஸோ Alice also standing on the pole. Alice started looking at the jury box. So where the March and the Mad Hatter were making noise. So using that jury box, the Mad Hatter and the March make noise earlier. So she started thinking about the period. So the Dormouse slept and the Cheshire Cat smiled at her. "What's going on?" asked Alice. "You are guilty of stealing the delicious heart-shaped tarts," as accused the Queen. So now the Cheshire Cat. Have you all remembered that? At first we saw a cat on the tree, right? So the cat seeing the Alice and give us silly smile. The Alice asking the cat, "Why are you and the Queen were laughing at me? What are you planning?" The Alice asking to the cat and the Queen. And the Queen accused the Alice to the judge that she was stealing a heart-shaped tarts. Okay, what is tarts? I'll show you. Sorry, I'll say you. The tarts is the thing used to have, all the queens used to have, and mainly this character in this story having the tarts, a heart-shaped crown-like thing. Okay, so the Queen accusing the Alice that she steal the tarts, and now you must be punished. Off with her head. So the Queen is saying that to the judge, she steal my tarts and she must give off her head, and she is saying that it in the 2 times. Yield the Queen. "How silly," replied Alice. So Alice replying that, "How silly. I did not have the slightest idea what you were talking about. I was only playing croquet." So the Alice is saying that, "How silly are you saying like this? I only played the croquet. I never took your tarts. So why are you saying like this?" And the Alice replied. Alice felt someone touch her shoulder. "Wake up." So now all the things happening, it was what was her dreams. Now Alice feeling that someone is touching her shoulder and saying that, "Wake up. You have been sleeping for too long," said her sister softly. "I had a strange dream," said Alice. So now Alice's sister waking her and saying that, "You are sleeping for too long period, just wake up." And Alice saying, replying to her that I seemed a strange dream while I am sleeping. And she told her sister about the white rabbit, the mad tea party, the Queen of Hearts, and the trial. So she is saying all the things what happened in her dream to her sister, but her sister wasn't paying attention. So Alice started saying all these things whatever she saw in her dream, but Alice's sister never mind about her what that Alice is talking. She just didn't even paying attention to her words. "You are reading again," mumbled Alice. So not even Alice's sister seeing her attention to the Alice words. Alice mumbled that. Mumbledனா புலம்புறது சொல்லுவாங்கள்ல, வாய்க்குள்ளேயே புலம்புறதுன்னு சொல்லுவாங்கள்ல. So mumbling that, "You are reading again. You are not even hearing to my words," she mumbled. As she stretched, Alice saw a little white rabbit with pink eyes scurry behind a tree. So slightly she stretched her body. We used to stretch our body after waking up from our bed, right? So like that, after sleepy, she wake up. Alice stretching her body, and while stretching around, she saw a pink rabbit with red color eyes behind the tree. So now the story is ending. So have you all enjoyed the supplementary? Yes. Okay, let us read the vocabularies. So I am giving a homework to you. Find the new words in this supplementary and give the vocabulary meanings to all the new words. Let you find 20 words from this letter. Do it as a homework, okay? Thank you.